we don't need roads.
I'm a big movie nerd, which means that my friends and I have these like really intense movie nerd discussions and fights. And I was actually wondering if you guys could sort of help me settle a debate that we've actually had for years. Do characters in musicals know that they are singing and dancing, or is it more of a physical representation of what they're sort of feeling on the inside?
That's a very good question.
That's a really great question. I'm going to have to think about that more.
That's so good.
No.
That second part, that's such a great question because I just saw John. I retweeted something that he said in an interview, and I thought it was so brilliant.
That was my interview.
Oh, well, there you go.
But in my world, the best musicals, the best way music is used is and dance is used is when it is not about are they doing this in real life. It is about a close-up doesn't actually happen in real life. That is a tool that a filmmaker uses to express a moment or to communicate what it feels like to be inside their head without having a piece of dialogue telling you what it feels like to be in their head.
I second what John said. All the songs, the numbers, the dance moves, this outer body magical place that song and dance takes you to. It's an extension of what these characters are feeling. And it's the same thing that we want to feel and that we imagine in our head, as we are like the protagonists of our own movie, our own narrative. That's what we feel when we have those moments where words aren't enough. And, the movie in your head, that's what it feels like, when you fall in love, when you are around family, or when you're going through, a tough moment, like music takes you there, dance takes you there. So yeah.
Does Nina know that she's singing Breathe? Is Nina singing?
She live and breathe.
I mean, I think there is an awareness. I mean, this is I'm thinking since you asked it. I feel like there is an awareness of the singing and dancing because it is like a way to express like a deeper feeling that they have that there's no words for, or that there's no like just, other than bursting into song and dance, that there's no way to express what they're feeling. So I think there is an awareness of that deeper consciousness that is very artistic and creative that goes into these realms, because I know that in like my emo teenage years of like listening to my MP3 before the iPod existed, that you would like go on LimeWire and like download the songs onto your little like egg shaped thing. And I would go on road trips with my family, and I would lean against the window and play like a sad song and just like go somewhere and like imagine this like grander life. So I feel like that's what happens in musicals.
I think that, in my opinion, and I think John Chu thinks this way too, it's a way to portray in a larger scale what the characters are feeling, the mood, their thoughts. And I think particularly in this movie, that's what it is, I think. What do you think, Jimmy?
100%. It all comes from the character's center core. And and John Chu, in terms of the way he did these flourishes of old Hollywood musicals, and at the same time, with as current as this musical was in its iteration that Olga represented on Broadway and off Broadway, it melds the two.
But I think it's more so leaning towards it's just a different way of depicting how they're feeling. I don't think they I don't think Sonny knows that there's cameras in front of him and now he's gonna rap for them. It's more so just this is how I feel and this is how I'm gonna do it.
I think that it depends on what moment it is. I think that in the magic of this particular film, I think that I feel like Daniela knows that she's singing. I think that she lives her life that's there's anger, there's passion, and singing is a particular gear of her passion. Gear of her passion. That's sounds so, that's an immigrant kind of way to think of something as Yeah.
I gotta say, I would never go as far as saying that I was in musical theater in high school, but I did do the senior musical one time. And I will actually never forget the day after our final performance, when the entire experience was over, just how like genuinely sad I was that the entire thing was done. I actually I was almost like borderline depressed. It was a bummer. And I've always wondered if that's a commonplace feeling because I didn't do it a lot. For you guys, what was the day after you wrapped filming like? What did you was there sort of that sadness for you guys?
It's definitely sad. I think it's a mourning. It's a loss every time. Because getting into character and telling a story and then having to say goodbye to that, it feels like kind of like ending a relationship. Mm-hmm. So there is a loss and a sadness. And I know we were all weeping on the last day of shooting.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have a video. I was going back, I went on my phone and went back to all the videos, and the day after I recorded the 6-minute video of me just weeping the day after. I think I was the last one to leave our apartment building. And I spent the whole day crying, sporadically, because I felt I don't know. I felt like I was saying goodbye to the best experience of my life. And I was I want to go back. Let's go back to the beginning of the summer, whole summer ahead of us.
I'm already thinking. So we saw a sequel, Back into the Heights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Part 2. Hello. Can we start a petition? Cause
Back up in the Heights.
Nothing that I would want to do more in life than a sequel to this.
That happens a lot in the theater too, because and it happened in this movie because we were representing a tight-knit community, and we were also very, very close because we had to come together and perform and form these relationships very quickly. And so we were like a family. And so it was sad to leave my fellow actors and to also leave Abuela Claudia behind once again.
Abuela Claudia, the heart and soul of this movie. I guess, there's always that sadness that you have in artistic endeavors, especially when people vibe together. But I think because the circumstance here with regards to we were shooting actually in the Heights, the community was a part of the film. They kind of buoyed us in so many ways. It was such a long road in terms of this project, going from the theatrical experience that Olga had been a part of, and readings and off Broadway and Broadway, and now to the screen, and maybe being done at one time and then not being done as a film. And it went through all of this, and then we're at a time when, in terms of our community, the Latino community, that this is just the right medicine, and so I think we felt that on our shoulders when we were doing it, the importance of it, and the fact that the cast did vibe together in such a great way, and you feel that in every frame. It felt a little more.
I tell you, I miss that neighborhood. Those Dominican bakeries and the warmth of the people there. You couldn't tell who was in the movie and who was just walking down the street.
Oh, I love that.
Wow, there definitely has that experience in theater. I think theater really has that experience because it's been this collective ride and, excuse me, a journey. Film can also be that way, but we bonded so much that we kept it going afterward. We had no idea that there was going to be a pandemic in between, but yes.
Is there an In the Heights text thread?
Oh,
absolutely.
I think there are a few.
There's definitely multiple.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
I gotta get in on one of those.
Oh, no, honey, you gotta audition. I
have been told in the past couple of interviews that there's a couple of In the Heights text groups, and I really want to get into one of those. And they keep telling me that I have to audition, but I'm not any good. So I'm going to need you. I was wondering if you guys could sneak me into, add me. So I'll give you my number and add me into one of the In the Heights text groups, because I'd love to just become friends with all of you guys. And then when you do the sequel, Back into the Heights, then I'll just slide in and be like the neighbor.
You can just slide in.
Back into the Heights. I like that. And maybe I'll still be playing Abuela Claudia. I don't know.
Guys, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, if you can't tell, I love you guys and I love this movie. And seriously, I know you're doing a ton of press through all of this, but I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. So seriously, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh,
This was
thank
fun.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Thank you, Jake.
All right. Bye, guys. See you later.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.